I'm ABX Toycat, and welcome back to another live stream on the internet, and something I'm kind of playing around with called a Let's Play Live. This is the Update Adventures Let's Play World, except we're doing it live, damn it, which means anything could happen. I mean, that's actually true for all the Let's Play episodes too, but honestly, to just kind of cut through the facade, this is something that I'm trying today. This is something I'm working out, where, you know, I feel like a lot of people like the Let's Play, a lot of people like seeing this world, and they don't know that a lot of my live streams, especially recently, have been here. So here is a live stream in the Let's Play world, something we do a bunch, and I'm doing this kind of shamelessly to say, hey, why don't you check out a live stream if you like seeing the world? So next Let's Play, if I remember, which I might not, let's be honest, I'm going to point people and be like, hey, do you want to see me doing the thing that I said I'd do last week? Well, we're doing that now. We're taking all the soul sand, the insane amount of soul sand. Like, we very much overstocked up on soul sand. We're taking the soul sand, and we're going to be making a soul sand bounty outfit. It's going to be great. I actually have a big confession to make. Maybe not a confession, but a big mistake that I've made. And, you know, a lesser man would just pretend that he didn't make it. But I will admit, I made a mistake. I got a bunch of soul sand before the update came out, thinking, aha, I'll be ready for soul speed. You know, like, soul sand is going to be a really great block off this update. Without then realizing that soul soil, because I hadn't played around with it enough, soul soil is actually a better block than soul sand. It's just soul sand, but it doesn't slow you down, meaning you'd never want to use soul soil over soul sand unless you were 100% sure you would never walk on it. And even then, I think soul soil genuinely looks better than soul sand. So the only benefit of soul sand, therefore, is that this soul sand valley, which, again, it's not actually a soul sand valley right now, it's an old Minecraft console biome. We're going to be using it and kind of making a biome from it because I have too much of this block, and I might as well make this Nether Temple, which we built on the Let's Play last week. I'm going to make it great. It's going to be wonderful. Also, the real soul sand valley is the friends we made along the way. Exactly, Kay Taylor. Even if we don't successfully build the valley, what's the important thing is that we make friends and that we have a journey and an experience as we go along. So, yeah, the only thing that, like, has to stay in place is we have to have at least this ring around the thing, and we're gonna make the desert temple, the corrupted, you know, the Nether temple. We're gonna make this kind of fit in, and it's gonna be great. So hello, I'm ABX Toycat. Welcome back to the live stream. Thank you for saying my temple is nice, everyone. I was genuinely curious if people would like it or not because I loved it. I like fell in love with it, but I fall in love with a lot of things that people hate. I'm just saying, chat. I like you, and you know, we all know how that's going on. Also, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Abad Islam. Who says, you know, your boy, I might, wait, one sec, I'm gonna get there. He says, get well soon, tax evasion. Oh, is tax evasion sick? First of all, I love that, like, that's a funny, like, one of our moderators on the Discord is called, tax evasion, just to clarify, just to be perfectly clear here. And, second of all, I want to say, one of the other things that you might not know is, I want to clarify this right now because I've got face cam on. I got out of the shower, 20-something minutes ago. And therefore my hair looks wet. It's because it is wet. There's always gonna be some person who's like, wow, your hair is just really gross. And it's funny because wet hair looks really not clean, which is always a perfect irony to me. Because, like, you know, I guess greasy hair looks wet, which is interesting because, like, you know, you figure wet hair would look the cleanest. But anyway, someone's gonna say that, and you know, I don't know why I justify that, like, section of the internet. You know, like, if you're gonna hate my hair, you're gonna hate it regardless of how it looks. But just for anyone who is actually curious, what the heck's wrong with my hair? Like team theme is, even in a joking way, now you know the answer. I'm glad we could go through that together. I'm glad we got that done. So we're gonna have this kind of go out in a little bit of a circle pattern, maybe like that, and then we'll go down to the next layer. And yeah, the very first thing I think that is most important is to bring this down a layer. Anyway, so the reason we're doing this thing today, and it very much is just a thing, let's not try and pretend there's any great explanation. Also, thank you, Mr. Stanfield, or M. Stanfield, not Mr. Stanfield, the M. Stanfield. Stanfield off the M. Your hair looks wet, says Lewinsky Flawless, and that's because it is wet. I'm glad you're, like, people say that all the time randomly, like, normally, and it's all like, you know, they'll make some weird comment or whatever, but this time it's like, okay, the reason is this. Gotta clarify that for anything else. Wow, wet hair, I'm offended. It's the internet, so that is a entirely valid opinion to have, Cat. You know, it's okay. Can we get sand in the chat? Oh, thank you, Jofo, Olamau. Jofo Olomo? I'm not, you're not sure, that works. Anyway, so, your hair looks like your hair says singing Donna. You know, you do have a pretty beautiful little metaphor there. I hear something weird. I took out. I'm a big fan. Sloppy is better. So, Hey, thank you. I'm glad you like that. So I just wanted to say the cool thing about this, like, the usual Let's Play format I do, right, is like, so what I've been up to in the past, you know, like what I've been up to in the past week, etc. And like the answer's usually being like, oh yeah, quarantine. Isn't that interesting? But today I went and I did the thing. Are you pleased with that? You all impressed with that? I went and I did. Like, I know I had like a nice day for the first time in a very long time. Like, it just, like I went and I did a thing, and I feel like my soul is more enriched, or whatever dumb, you know, thing you want to say in response to it. But like, I know it's nice to like do some things that you've always wanted to do, and I did some of those things today. I went for a little walk down a random bit of countryside, and I was like, that's nice. That was like exercise. It doesn't count as exercise because I ate some very non-healthy meals at a pub that I passed along the way. But it's just like, I don't know, there's something interesting about, because like every, I know it's like, there's something interesting about places you never, like exploring, I guess. I love the feeling of being somewhere that I haven't been before and that no one has really heard of before, because it might be awful and it might be cool. I like that rolling the dice kind of thing, which is why I'm moving to Vegas very shortly. But see, get the funny joke, rolling the dice. Could also make a Dungeons & Dragons joke, I guess, if I really wanted to. I haven't done a single thing for 4 months. Yeah, it's crazy interesting to me, this whole the whole world is in, like, only in specific aspects has slowed down. And a lot of people think like, oh yeah, aren't we proving how unnecessary all that stuff was? But what I think we're proving is like, aren't we seeing the mental health decline that's happening from not doing all those things? Like, there's some people who are really happy doing pretty much nothing, and like that's cool. But like, there's also a group of people like, oh yeah, I enjoy doing nothing, and therefore you've got to enjoy doing nothing too. And like, I find that to be kind of wacky. Like, at this, like, we're going through like the biggest, you know, mental health crisis that we're ever gonna face, because we were already pretty. Again, like, I feel like what life is, what humanity is just struggling between a bunch of issues at a time. Like, you know, we. Oh, do you hear the little soul noise? I didn't even realize. Oh, that's so cool. How long's that been in the game? It's probably been a very long time. But I've never placed so much soul sand to actually, like, notice it. That's pretty cool. But, yeah, my high-quality dice joke seems to have been lost on a few people in chat. But you know what? It's funny, because in Vegas, there's a game where you roll dice, and you get it, like, because, like, you gamble on them. So, like, you know, it's, like, because gambling is a thing that Vegas is known for, I think, maybe. Could be wrong. Not entirely certain. I'm just rolling the dice on that guess. Okay. I didn't play D&D though. It was a lot of fun. Hey, thank you, Say Goldie, and thank you, Brodie Privett. Hey, good to see you in the membership club, Brodie Privett. Is that Brodie Privett? You know, oh lord, what? Okay, it's fire. It's fine. It's just fire. It's interesting actually because Ghost can destroy soul sand, so we might actually have to like be cautious of that in the future. But I won't be. You know, like we could be, but I won't be. I'm a new subscriber, please notice me. I'm a big fan, says Jacob Concannon. I'm not noticing you because you said notice me. I think that's the worst thing for anyone to put in their message. But I do want to say, if you're a new subscriber, that's cool. And I also want to say, like, hey, it's cool. I'm not going to deliberately not notice your message like I usually would. But I do want to say, like, I feel like saying, like, oh yeah, I'm new here. You gotta do that. It's like the least useful way to message someone, like especially in the case of this live stream, right? It's a fun way to do things. So the cool thing about live streams versus videos, because again, we're gonna call this a let's play like thing. It's nothing like a let's play besides it's the same world, and also I talk at a camera for an ungodly amount of time. But the cool thing about these is we get to have a beverage. So I've got some fruit. Like I don't have any ice cubes. My ice cube tray is empty. It made me sad. I love ice. Not having ice makes me sad. So I've got some frozen fruit. And I've got a can of Pepsi Max. And the plan is, I've got 2 cans. And I'm going to make just a lot of Pepsi Max in a bowl. Because that is my delicious treat to myself. At the end of a nice day, and going for a long walk. I also went climbing today. Again, my life is like, I feel like it's on track again. Like, you ever go through a time where you're like, life just hasn't moved for a while. Like, do you ever think about how tragic that is? Like, I know it's more tragic to die. Don't get me wrong. Thank you for helping our mental health and keeping us entertained during these hard times. Some people have said, also, first of all, Fadra Sobum says I love soul sand. That's pretty cool. I agree. I love hating soul sand too. But, I want to just quickly say, like, I think it's, like, so cool that some people actually say I've helped their quarantine anyway. Like, I almost don't believe it. It's one of those praises that's like, that's a big piece of praise, you know? Like, it's really easy to just, I don't know, there's a lot of unqualified big praise too. Like it's easy to be like, you're better than 1,000. What's a really good thing? Ice creams, Toy Cat. It's like, well, you don't mean that. You're like exaggerating. You're saying words. But like when people have like well thought out, nice things, or like, you know, in this case, it sounds like someone was genuinely helped. It's pretty cool. Toy Cat, I'm not actually a kids channel. Also, Toy Cat, if you say no word on Discord, I will remove life privileges. First of all, the way the Discord works is you just gotta follow like basic human. Like the thing is on the internet. Actually, can we talk about one of the most bizarre things about online discourse is you have to kind of have a base standard for how humans interact with each other. If you're looking for a place where you specifically want to, you know, like talk about a thing while, you know, like and therefore like when you're making something on the internet as like a public discourse space, you know, perhaps discourse. I wonder if there's a social media site named after discourse. Can anyone think of, you know, like when you're having discourse in public, is there maybe a site, like maybe a chat app that does something like that? But the thing about public discourse is you've got to always kind of have a set of public standards, even though those public standards don't match what everyone's actual standards are, because you have to cater for the lowest common denominator, or maybe you could say the highest common denominator of standards. And there are some people who genuinely do not want to hear swearing, or there are some people who, you know, like will, you know, feel like anything that they see their kid might be able to see, or like whatever, you know, like someone once said genuinely to me, and then like they sent me a heartfelt email saying, hey, can you please stop the, you know, the jokes about loyalty and hoes, because my, you know, like I want to watch the videos of my children and I don't want them to see that. And when it comes to like videos, we're talking about lowering, you know, like this is a medium, this is a thing I'm putting out there. But when we're talking about like on an online platform, if you want to use certain words, whatever they are, like, you know, like for instance on YouTube, you know, you can't say Nazi, you can't call, there's a few different words you can't say that are kind of obvious real ones. You can always say those in private, and maybe you could have a big discussion about should you be able to say them in the public space. And I don't know, I could get into that, and that'd be a fun debate to have one day. But it's not the debate we're having today. Instead, I don't really like this. Like, I feel like this is a good base and all, but it feels lacking. It feels really lacking. So we're going to expand what this covers as well to kind of cover a big circle around here. So we're going to start covering just whatever terrain is here, except also patching in gaps, because these have just been destroyed over time. Also, I don't have my membership set automatically renewed because I like carrying Pigstep each time, says Brodie Privett. Yeah, I wish it would automatically pay Pigstep anyway, because I really don't like, again, I don't like perverse incentives. I want to reward people who are the most loyal, and having automatic renewals is such a key thing for a thing like memberships, because not everyone's going to be able to set up a month. I wish it would play automatically every month. I wish it would say you are a member for X months, but YouTube's API doesn't send that data to Streamlabs, so they literally can't work it out. And it's, again, that YouTube like talks such a big game when it comes to their like they want to be a big streaming site to rival Twitch, but then also they miss like a fundamental bunch of stats. So like, well, that'd be pretty important, huh? Being able to know this you know, like how long someone's been subbed, for instance. So one of the frozen fruit things got stuck in my straw. So my plan is, here's my high quality plan, right? People are always saying I should go green with my straws. So I have a yellow straw, and I'm combining it with a blue straw. And between them, this works. Oh, isn't that nice? I'm doing this podcast while I'm doing sit-ups because health, says Caitlin Marie. Man, one of the few things, like, this is, a lot of people say like, oh yeah, online, like YouTube videos and podcasts and stuff, like they're just dumb like time fillers. Now, like using them as a way to also work on your health. Like sometimes when I go for walks, not today, I had a friend, but like if you're going for a walk or something, like a long walk, having a podcast is your best friend. Like a long flight or something, it allows you to be entertained while also like activating like a certain social part of your brain. And I sometimes worry, I have this worry a lot, because my friend was talking about how like, oh yeah, and when it comes to TV, every type of TV is fake. Because my friend's a big wrestling fan, and like in wrestling is obviously like I'm not gonna be the guy who's like wrestling is fake, but you know wrestling is fake, and it's scripted, I guess. Fake is the wrong word to use because it's like it's basically acknowledged that it is, but like it's like, oh yeah, like reality TV, the one TV that tries to tell you it's real is not real, and like it's pretty hard to find a type of TV that is. Oh, I hate magma cubes so much. It's pretty hard to find a type of TV that is like genuinely unscripted, because like people like, it's easier to do the sort of thing that looks unscripted while scripting it than it is to script it. Like we're having a conversation right now in a way, which is, it's fun because there's gonna be some things we talk about will lead to like dead ends, and like maybe you're not so interested when we talk about having discourse on public platforms. Maybe you're not so interested in my drink of choice today, Pepsi Max Cherry, by the way. I don't really like just Coke by itself. I think Coke by itself just tastes like nothing. It tastes like vegetable oils, and again, it's just a vaguely fizzy drink. But when you throw like some cherry or some like vanilla or some lemon or whatever else in there, you get like a drink with a raw flavor. You know, maybe you don't like hearing me talk about that, but the fact that you're like flowing through lots of things. I guess in real life conversations, some people don't talk about things they don't want to. I mean, I'd argue I don't, but I'm very direct with people, and maybe that's a terrible thing. Seeing couples walk around together is so cute, says Cat Gale. Me and my friend agreed today that if neither of us are married by 45, we're gonna get married and live on a boat together. So that's cool. You know, that's the dream, right? Everyone needs a friend to get married to at 45 and have a boat with. I would become a member if I had $2, but I don't, sadly. It's all good, my man. Don't become a member. There's no obligation or requirement or even feeling that you should. So I want to keep these caves going, but also I don't want to make them soul sand caves. We'll just do that. And also oh man, this is such an ugly... Okay, so we're going to make this go down to there. We're just going to cover all of this in soul sand. And we'll kind of... Oh, actually, also let's light some of the soul sand on fire. I just realized we got to really take advantage of that. That seems like a thing we got to do, huh? Why aren't we lighting things on fire? Also, we need to make a basalt pillar probably, right? Just a big basalt thing to the sky. I think I mined some basalt at one point. I'm not too sure, though. Vanilla is the supreme variant Coke, but they stopped selling it here. I think they always sell it, like, when people say they stopped selling it here, usually what they mean is, like, in my area. Like, my local store stopped selling small tubs of Ben & Jerry's because no one was willing to do the... You know, like, people aren't willing to buy the less efficient size of an item. They usually want, like, you know, like, most people buy big tubs of Ben & Jerry's, no one wants single servings. But, like, I'm the guy who's like, no, if I have a tub, I will eat a tub. I want less than a tub. I know how psychology works. There's a reason that multi-packs of chocolate bars are cheaper and stuff, and it's, like, it's because they know what, you know, like, it's not like they're benevolent, like, you know, we just want to give you a bulk discount. That's the theory, but the actual psychology is if they sell you more, you'll eat more, which means they're, you know, like, they're managing to make more profit despite selling less per thing. But, like, I felt the same way about Ben & Jerry's. But, like, even though that's how it is in my area, like, my local store stopped selling it. But they exist. They're very rare, because I think a lot of local stores are selling them. But what it really just means is, like, find a different store that does sell them. And, yeah. Or even... Actually, my local Tesco, I don't know if anyone else's Tesco does this, if it's, like, common. But if you ask politely for an item to be brought back, they'll actually tell you. Also, thank you, Laura Shoesmith, for becoming a member today. Again, one of the biggest regrets I have on my channel still is like when when membership tiers came out, I made a cheap tier, and it's like, to this day, it's like, oh man, that's a $1.99 tier that just like, whatever, you know, let's not talk about my mistakes today. Ben & Jerry's is Ben & Jerry's no matter how small. Exactly, Ben & Jerry's is Ben & Jerry's. That's, you know, I'm not Ben, but Ben & Jerry's is Ben & Jerry's. So I can actually make an overworld fortress. I am one step ahead of you, Mr. Ryan Chaffin. I wish I could just go there right now and prove you wrong, but like the other 1226 would be pretty intense, right? My local Tesco doesn't exist, says Swift Spider. You know, I think it's sad that you don't have a local Tesco. That actually blows my mind, because Tesco's like, there was a stat at one point that like 1 in 6 pounds spent in the UK went to Tesco, like, and obviously like it's not all profit. Also, this piece of XP has just followed me around, but I can't pick it up. What a wacky thing. But yeah, so like honestly, like, a lot of stores, if you just like ask nicely and you'd be like, hey, I don't want to have to go to a rival store. Like, cause you know, like obviously when facts like this become widespread, people start abusing it and being like, I will leave you, and you know, they start like being mildly threatening. But like a lot of stores just like, hey, if you have any questions, email us, and like maybe if a few people do it, we'll totally make it happen. Also, I think the XP burned in the fire. I could be wrong. Real homies are support cats, says Alcazar. Exactly. Oh wait, do you have a year badge? Is that what? Oh wait, I can't even. It doesn't even say what your thing is next to you, but yeah, you've got a hey, thank you, EnderStarr. Also, try Dr. Zebia Stoda sometimes. It's better. I'm sorry I missed your message. How? Okay, I'm missing super chats all the time. I'm wondering what's going like wrong. I wonder why they can't do it. Me send super chat. Toycat 50-minute tangent. Such is life, you know. Such is life on the internet. But yeah, there's an interesting thing that Sainsbury's does. So these are the supermarkets in the UK. If you don't care about UK supermarkets, then bad news for you. You're in the wrong live stream. But another UK supermarket, Sainsbury's. If you use a Next card, like a loyalty card, they track your purchases. Obviously, that's the whole point of the card. And at the end of the year, they'll tell you like if you're like the #1 buyer of a certain product. And it's really fascinating to see like what people are like the best at buying. I'm 6 months as Alcazar. You know, what are all the badges? I don't even know anymore. Also, now a word from our sponsor, Costco. I wish I would be sponsored by Costco, but one of the things that Costco does to save money is they don't do sponsorships. 616 XP. Wait, what did I just read? No, I read something that wasn't on screen again. Thank you, Kakao. Good to see you. How are you doing today? You know what? Don't answer. You're doing good today. I've decided on your behalf, and I'm glad that it's worked out. I'll stay a member till I get the Emerald Cat. Is it the Emerald Cat that's... Yeah, I guess it'd be Diamond Cat for a year and Emerald Cat for 2 years. Or maybe the other way around. I think there was a real big controversy about which way around it was going on. Also, one question that's been bothering me for a while. If sand has gravity in Minecraft, why does soul sand have no gravity? Oh, it's the souls that keep it up, you see. It's the souls that keep it up. Now, something interesting about Minecraft is soul sand and soul soil. Like, the fact that soul soil is just so much better than soul sand makes me a little upset, because in one of the things that, like, I think makes the game interesting is when every choice is viable. Not equally viable. Like, it's like how... oh no, they're gonna destroy stuff. It's like how, for instance, like, diamond armor is just better than iron armor. Or iron armor is just better than leather armor. But, like, even though iron armor is better than leather armor, you know, in this particular example, even though that is factually correct. Okay, we're gonna expand this over here into the wall, I reckon. Yeah, we're just gonna cover up this entire thing. This is yeah, U.S. government in 1969. Am I right? Fun joke. But I think we'll just have a better day. We just make this perfectly flat, and we don't deal with any of this nonsense. We just cover it all up. Make Neverite Cat freeze membership. But even though there's I got distracted by chat. This is the downside of a live stream. I'm busy. I focus so much on chat, like maybe too much on chat sometimes. The thing about iron being better than leather is it's like not actually entirely true, because iron armor is better. It has more armor protection, but you can dye leather armor, and also it's better enchantable. And obviously those things are only going to matter in small cases, but also leather's easier to get than iron. Like, you know, there's a trade-off to be made there. Whereas soul sand and soul soil are found in the same place, which means the only thing keeping soul sand better than soul soil is like if you want people to slow down, or you just want to be quirky, you know, and be like, ooh, I've got the worst one. And that's the thing. If they added soul gravel, let's say, which just looked like soul sand and soul soil, but it, you know, sucked even worse, or whatever magical power we're going to say it has. If they did add another one. Also, wow, this biome goes to weird places. We might just remove these blocks. Now we'll leave them there. We'll keep it nice and ugly. The nether's got to be ugly, otherwise you don't know it's the nether. But when you have enough blocks, enough things which are just dumb and beaten by other things, it's a lot of games gets this problem. It's called power creep, where like you make things that are better than existing things. And there's a really great benefit to it because it seems, you know, this we can fill with our netrack. Look at that. Also, we've got some gravel in there. How nice. But it seems like a not so bad thing on the surface, but it leads to people... It's like in real life, the concept of inflation means that even though most people don't think about it too often, you should never save money forever, because if you just save money in a bank or something like that, then your money, if you just put money in the bank account and leave it for 50 years and it doesn't get enough interest, then your money loses purchasing power. So you want to buy things now, and like, for all of us, that's better because the economy works better if we're all spending money. Okay, here's your economics lesson. In the same way, I feel like games have the same problem, where if you feel like there's going to be a new Minecraft update that ruins the point of something you're doing right now, you probably won't do stuff. And one of the things Minecraft kind of failed on this angle is, in my opinion... Also, thank you, Zimmermann. One of the things I think Minecraft really messed up on is transport, because the fastest way of getting around in Minecraft was always the minecart. And then they moved on from like, oh yeah, boats and ice. Then they're like, oh, it's boats on blue ice, actually. Toycat is Keynesian, says Rodrigo Mejia. I think it, like, just because I'm not into the field of like, I think it's like Austrian economics where they think that like inflation isn't bad. Because, okay, here's the thing, right? Economics assumes that everyone is a fundamentally smart individual. The only real justification you can make that inflation doesn't deter people from buying things is that people are not smart enough to think it through that way. Because, like, here's an example. There are a few things, like, most things in the world are actually deflationary, but they're usually things that we consume. So, like, if you think about how food works, food always is going down in price. It doesn't seem like it because it's like going down in price relative to inflation, but like food is decreasing. And in a lot of cases, like, again, it's like supermarkets decreasing prices. You don't think the food is cheaper. You think the supermarket is selling the food for cheaper, although it means the same thing. But there's a, like, if you think about technology, the same phone that just, like, the Samsung S8, let's say, I think, let's just say an iPhone, because more people know iPhones. The iPhone 7, when it first came out, was $1,000. How much is an iPhone 7 now? Probably surprisingly expensive, but, like, despite coming out in, I think I looked it up, 2015, iPhone 7 price now, an iPhone 7 will run you now, you know, in 2020, £349. It went down in 65% in price in 5 years. And you could argue its functionality went down, so like, let's be less extreme and say the iPhone 10 came out like 2 years ago, right? It's now £400, like, as opposed to 1,000. These things lost like 60% of their value. But despite these things losing value, smart people, which doesn't include myself, smart people would probably never buy these things if you were actually making a rational thing. But the problem is economics assumes we're all rational consumers all the time. And all the time we're not, which means that it's very hard to, because, you know, like, the way sciences work, the set in stone sciences, the hard sciences, whatever you want to call them, the sciences that are based on fundamental constants of the universe. The universe doesn't really change too much until you get into quantum mechanics, where everything changes all the time and nothing makes sense to anyone. But the universe is a pretty big constant. But humans and our behavior is changing all the time. So having like trying to work out how people will spend their money is near impossible, because even you don't know how you spend your money. Like, you are unaware of what makes you buy things sometimes and not buy things other times. I went to Burger King today. You know what? Let me flex on you all. I went to Burger King. Wow, is your local Burger King open? Probably, but mine is also. And like I was going in there like, okay, I just want to get, you know, I'm trying to lose weight for Vegas so I can gain lots of weight. And I want to gain all the weight that I lost back in Vegas. It's going to be great. It's going to be delightful. So I was like, okay, I'm just getting the, you know, the lowest calorie burger. I don't know why. It was a bacon double cheeseburger, like normal. But then she's like, do you want the XL? And I was like, I do. And just in the moment, I bought the thing. It's like, but I didn't want that thing. But I said that I did, and then I gave them the money for one. You know, Barnacle Jake just gave me $1 right there. Did you Did you think this morning you're like, you know, I'm gonna watch a Toy Cat live stream today. I'm gonna give him $1, or just right now, because I always assume the lower the super chat is, the more it is just to show up on screen. The higher it is, the more it's like someone like who's like, yeah, I appreciate the things and you know I like supporting or whatever. So like you just now are like, yeah, I wanna show up on the screen for Toy Cat's live stream, right? And you spend $1 that you can no longer spend on anything else. That's how economics works. There's a opportunity cost. You can never spend that $1 on anything else again. It's my $1 now, and by my $1 I mean Susan from YouTube gets 30%, and then you know because you did it via YouTube, and then like you know the UK government gets 35 cents of the remaining 70 cents or so, and then like it's probably like 34 cents. You know, they're very generous. And then I've got like 36 cents left at the end, but those are my 36 cents now. Although I guess you could argue funded the UK government. But anyway, my point is like, it's very hard to be a rational consumer. Because we're not really rational people. There is a rationale behind us sometimes, but the more we live in an irrational world, the harder it is to be a rational consumer. Even a rational anything, right? Like, how are you going to be a rational human being when you're surrounded by things that make that very tricky? Also, Soul Sand Temple hype. Oh, I just realized the cleverness of putting, like, I knew why I did this before, but like it's this Soul Sand Valley, so it's like a soul desert, if you will, that has a little desert temple in it. That's real clever of me, real poignant of me to make that happen. But yeah, if you look at this whole area, you can see how there is just a whole spot of thing. Oh, there's wither skeletons. I need to kill those. Okay, not getting distracted. This is just part of the live stream that today we are including. Please give me a skull. Please give me a skull. Please give me a skull. Well, we can't say we didn't try. Now we throw away both of these. Because there's a, like, Minecraft Bedrock thinks there should be a nether fortress here. So a bunch of wither skeletons spawn even though there's not one. Even though there is an actual nether fortress that isn't seen as one over there somewhere. Minecraft doesn't make sense, okay? We've gone over this a million times. Hey, thank you, Liam Joel. Would you do a video on sodium being better for Java performance than Optifine? You know, sodium's bad for you, so I could not make that video, Mr. Liam Joel. No, I don't really make Java mod videos. I've tried to a few times, but like they don't connect with, because it's just not my like personal thing, and I think a lot of people feel that. Like videos seem to perform a lot better when it's in your like personal interest level, and I kind of like that. Hey, thank you, Act David, for becoming a rich cat. You know, you are the hero of the stream today. Welcome to the Rich Cat Club. You get access to a very bizarre little playlist of videos that I don't know why they even exist on the channel, but I hope you enjoy that little playlist. Also, Toy Cat, did you watch the Perseverance launch today? No, I was out all day. Maybe sadly so, maybe happily so. We won't know for sure until I guess if I'm assuming it's a SpaceX missile launch, right? You know, one thing you gotta say about SpaceX is they managed to make like space exciting again. Like, take away everything else, you know, you think about like, oh, I don't like that the person behind it is a rich man, because wow, I saw someone be really mad that SpaceX was privatizing space travel. It's like, you would prefer a world with no space travel to a world where, you know, like we have, you know, a person going out and doing it. Because that, you know, like, if you gave, you know, like the 100 billion or whatever it takes, you know, it was a NASA Mars rover thing. Damn it, I rolled the dice and I was wrong. It was a NASA one, and now I'm talking about nothing. You know, I'm gonna pretend it's SpaceX anyway. You can't stop me. You can't stop me. See, that's cool. I like that even NASA has like that wave of popularity that SpaceX has made. You know, like every missile launch they ever do, they manage to make exciting. That wave of popularity is extended over to the NASA stuff. Like, do you remember like 5 years ago being like, oh, there's a new NASA thing we can watch? No, you can't. The fact, like, that's a reminder of something, one of the big effects. Like, people always think that when people do things like, you know, when they invent a new genre, they're like, they're doing it for themselves or whatever. But like, they create a whole, like, the first Minecraft YouTuber, it's hard to point out who it is. You can maybe even just argue not just the first Minecraft YouTuber, but the first YouTuber of the Minecraft variety, they spawned. Oh god, we gotta deal with some stuff right now. they spawned this whole wave. We're gonna amend this pickaxe a little bit by taking out these nuggets. They spawned a whole wave of things that became, you know, like if it weren't for that wave, people might not have been so interested in found me and like, etc, etc, etc. Like when you know, someone who like founds a whole new thing, people forget about it not just being like, people always think if you do something for yourself, then it can't be good for other people. But it's like we live in a system where the very fundamental of what we do is based on that fact. Like, if someone benefits from the thing that you did, that thing can't have been good. Like, I wish the concept of mutual beneficence, like, you're all watching this live stream right now, you watched an ad before you got here. If you're enjoying this live stream right now, do you think that that ad was worth it? So that, as an aggregate, all of you together are, you know, like, able to help me pay the bills that are required to make these same videos. And you know, realistically, I do it without them, but they pay for me to also be able to have more time to do them, etc, etc. We're actually being honest and realistic. I'm gonna turn these bones into bone meal and then make some bone. Okay, only 4 bone blocks, but you know, we made some bone blocks. That was nice. This is great, isn't it? I don't get ads, says Cat Girl. You on a YouTube Premium? That's the good place to be, I guess. But like, some people say like, oh yeah, but like ad block, and it's like, well, you know, you can disable that for YouTube. You don't have to disable it for my channel if you don't want to. But like, I would recommend disabling that for YouTube because you're just like, those are like small creators who get it. But anyway, people who aren't just like doing the whole like, haha, I have worked out a way to get things for free, and you know, thinking that like it's actually for free. It's just like, it just means you're not paying, you know, you're not paying the person who makes the thing, which is fine. Like you don't have to, but you know, you can't. Oh, we didn't make the things. You don't get to act like you've done like some great thing that like, oh, I have beaten the system. It's like, nah, system's there, has the hole built in, with the trust that you don't do that. Anyway, so thank you very much. Your Minecraft videos are so cool. I wish I was successful in Minecraft. Thank you, the mangled lads. But yeah, a lot of people I have premium to use for music as well. Yeah, I bought premium just because I could argue like, okay, well it's also all the music I want. Not that I ever want music, but I was like, okay. Because I used to buy YouTube Premium before I flight every time, and then I didn't need it for like 6 months, because isn't it interesting how I haven't been on flights? I wonder what's changed. Does anyone know anything that's happened this year that would lead to me not taking so many flights? I don't know for sure, you know. Anyway, so the thing about that is it proves that like, oh yeah, you got a thing, you exchanged value and you got value in return. I'm exchanging, I don't know if we can call this that, right? I guess we can. If you think about when you buy a bottle of Coke at the store, that, you know, Coke wants your $1.55p or whatever amount a can of Coke costs at whichever store you're going to. Although realistically, that's the retailer. The retailer wants a can of Coke from Coke for 40 cents, and Coke wants 40 cents from the retailer. They both benefit because the retailer knows it can sell it to you for that amount. Both you and the retailer benefit. Like, the fact that there are genuinely huge segments of society who think that there is no way two people can benefit. If someone benefits from something, they are stealing, like, oh yeah, that store is stealing that money from you. You know, they bought, yeah, you know, they bought the can of Coke for 40 cents and they're selling it to you for 60. That is theft. That is like it's like, but that's the fundamental principle by which we build, you know, like wealth and stuff. Like if there's no such thing as that, there's no way to grow anything. It just all exists the way it is right now. It's like, no. Anyway, $1, £0.55. Where's the well though? Should I make a soul sand well? That might be a fun idea. Also, it's really weird being down here now, right? Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna deliberately block this off. Actually, wait, this is a cool cave. I wanna see where it goes. Oh, it goes over here. Okay, so we'll leave a little doorway in this, so I can get in if I want to. Like, yeah, we'll make it a really welcoming doorway too. You're not always gotta let people in to get shredding through the Marxists. I don't think there's many Marxists who watch Minecraft YouTube videos, but I am worried for the people who latch, like, I think if you're into Marxism, like, that's cool. If you believe that, you know, that all capital is an inherent imbalance in, you know, power, like, you know, like, if you read the the Communist Manifesto and you're like, yep, I agree with these ideas. That's so cool. If you've looked at when it's happened and you've worked out a way to get past those ideas, a little arrogant to assume that, but like, I'm cool with that. The only thing I have issue is when people hear like ideas from people like that, and they assume like, wow, these sound so reasonable. Because like, it does, like if you say in the abstract without actually explaining it, there are so many ideas that are like so reasonable. Like, oh yeah, I think that, I don't know. There's a billion, there's a trillion ideas that sound so great until you just dive into the what, where, when, how. Because without having to describe the how, the what, the where, without having to actually explain things, you can explain them. You can make any idea sound appealing. Think about Germany in that time period that we don't get to mention because this is a YouTube video. There were a lot of people. It was only a third of the country. Like a lot of people were just going along with it once they got into power. But also a lot of people were enthusiastic about that idea because the slogans were just connecting with them. They didn't think it through entirely. They weren't like, but like, is this really a because is a good economic policy really just to invade our neighbors and steal their stuff? No one was thinking through that. They were just like, yeah, this is a great idea. This is a foolproof system that you've come up with right here, Mr. Man who has a famous mustache. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna cover this up on the inside and have like a little cool area. I don't know how to get around it though. I'm working on a part of my world that no one, myself included, is ever gonna see. But I really enjoy this, okay? So please give me some chill. A good slogan always gets them. Yeah, that's why all political campaigning comes down to a slogan, because the fine details are where you win and lose people based on the actual merits of an idea. But a slogan can just get people... It's hard to be against the slogan. You feel me? Like, how can you be against the idea of like, oh yeah, my slogan is no new taxes. That's I think that was George H.W. Bush. It was one of the phrases that he used. Fun fact, by the way, when he got in power, he instituted new taxes. So like, or he raised taxes, which isn't the same as a new tax. But like the spirit of the message was a thing. Without explaining it, he boxed himself in a corner where he couldn't stick to the thing. There's a billion slogans in the UK realm, but like it's a powerful thing that like we use in the non-political world all the time too. I'm sure there's a slogan like, I say that you should become a member if you want to support the channel. What that really means is, hey, give me $4.99 a month, and that means that I get a regular monthly income that is unrelated to, like ad revenue performance and YouTube's willingness to share my video subscribers. I think the more effective slogan is just like, yeah, become a member, join the club. Yeah, join the club is a very ineffective way of sharing all those details. Whereas when you hear the full details of things, you're less infused sometimes. Hey, thank you, Cat. How are you doing today? Thank you very much, Salem and Little Bits. I am doing pretty good today. Again, I had a good day. I had like a moment where I was just like, life is nice. Like I don't know, like I feel like everyone has moments where like, man, what is life? Baby, don't hurt me no more. But it's always nice when you have the opposite of those moments. As a reminder that like, yeah, it's a balanced thing. Always have a balanced diet. So become a Toy Cat wife today. That's one, right? Like, the channel members are just my wives. We're not actually married. The actual deal is very financial. Like, if anything, I'm your wife because I'm not gonna make this joke. I'm gonna roll with it. Like, who's the one financially? I'm not gonna do it. Toy Cat, is Toy Cat just your slogan or your fan slogan? See, I was also thinking about this today. Moo says the goose. I think like one of the things that I would hate if I was not a Toy Cat fan. I love it as someone who does like me though. Sorry, hate to break it to you all, but I am a Toy Cat. I'm a big lover of Toy Cats, you could say. We're gonna close off this entrance using salsa. No, we can't. I don't even know what to do with that. We're just not gonna think about it. One of the people say Toy Cat is yes whenever I show up on like I don't know something somewhere. It's like a cool way, like a cool sign for like Toy Cat fans get to each other. But a lot of people who like have no idea who I am are like, what does this mean? Why is he yes? How can you be yes? What does that even really mean? And it must, like, frustrate a bunch of people. But then I realized, like, I guess it's better to... I guess I make the critical error in thinking and being like, well, the people who are part of, like, my tribe, you know, the good people who are IBX Toycat fans, is a whole thing. On the off chance anyone reads this, I need to point out that the idea of value is subjective and a price can be marked up, it can still be a good deal, is more right-wing than left, is hoping. The thing I was mentioning, Mr. Hoping, that is universal, is that the way that we measure wealth, you know, like, because if you want to argue that value is subjective, then you have to argue that, like, oh yeah, Mr., you know, like any rich person who has, they don't have physical things. They have a little bit of money in the bank, like a few $100 million, wow, how little. And then they've got like a bunch of stocks in the company that they own and they built. As far as intrinsically speaking, if you have a lot of food in your fridge, you have more food in your fridge than a billionaire, and therefore you are richer than them. If you want to argue that, you know, value is entirely intrinsic and there's no external value to things. But the actual value to something is like how much currency, how much things that can be used to buy goods and services, notably including the good ones, is a thing. And that value is, I think, universal among probably non-extremists. There's probably a lot of very far right people who are like, you know, we don't believe that money has value either, and we're gonna take. There's only a finite number of resources to go around, so we're gonna make sure that people we don't like don't have it. Which is actually the exact same as the left-wing version of that idea, if you think about it. Like except, you know, replace wealthy people with a, or replace, you know, Jewish person on the right with a term for wealthy people on the left. But whenever your ideology gets to the idea of like we need to kill people to help people, it's always like that's where I lose out on a thing. You always have the weirdest live stream, filling visit of torches, mining a straight 10,000 blocks, making my own Soul Sand Valley, mining quartz per hour, and many more. Isn't that the fun? If it was a normal live stream, would it be a Toycat live stream? The answer is actually yes, but you know, where's the fun in saying yes? Hey Toycat, what do you think about sugar daddies / mummies? I've seen a lot, again, this is one of those things I've seen a lot of people be upset with. Like that, it's a big, like there's a lot of people who are like, no, that's gross, that's disgusting. Like they see people doing it and they're like, this is not okay. Like because it's not appealing to them. Like to me, I would not want to have a sugar, whatever, I don't know what you'd call it. But the way I've always seen it, because you know, I walked into a, I went to a, there's a Jollibees in London, because there's a very heavy like Filipino expat community in a particular part of London. So I went into this very heavily Filipino part of London, and I saw like a bunch of older men with like very young, attractive girlfriends. You know, not all of those are going to be sugar-based relationships. Like some of them are going to be. And also, I want to put these mushrooms back down. Can I actually place them back down, or okay, we can. We can make fun little shapes actually. Let's like mix these in. But the thing is that is this a live stream, says Alcazar? No, this is a pretend live stream. I made up your comment right there. You didn't really comment that. You're in my head. We're all in my head. But like, it sounds like such a bad thing, but like, both participants get something they really want. And it's like, is that so awful? Like, no one's a loser in that relationship. The loser is you having to, like, there are so many situations where you have to make up a victim so that you can dislike a thing, right? You have to be like, oh, you know, there's a real victim there, so I can be mad about this. Because what you're really disliking is like having to look at it, having to be like, oh, I don't like seeing younger women with older men. Wait, younger women, older, yeah. Like that's what a lot of people look at and they're like, oh, I wouldn't, and therefore I don't want to see other people doing it. But it's like one of the things we need to get away from, and sadly we don't, because every generation we come up with new ways to justify it. Look on Twitter right now and you'll see a bunch of this. People being like, I wouldn't do this, and therefore no one is allowed to. This is morally disgusting, and this is a huge problem. Like, whenever there's a big movement for something, all relationships have sugar when you think about it. Yeah, there's always going to be some, even if it's super minor, like transfer of, unless you literally both are earning the exact same amount and have the exact same spending habits. Because even if you both earn the same amount of money working at the same company, different spending habits means that like, you know, there's a sugar something. But even if you ignore that, it's like you save money living together. Like who gets to take the proceeds of that? There's a billion like questions if you wanted to make a perfectly equal relationship. And therefore, there are just some people that are more explicit about it.
I am not your sugar mama, but I am your internet mom. Here is your allowance.
Hey, thank you, Pookie Helms. Good to see you. You're not. No, you are my sugar mama. That is the way this one goes. You know, if you think about it, isn't every mother a sugar mother? Like, if you really think about it, you shouldn't really think about it. But if you did really think about it, when you realize that every mother is a sugar, like I mean, I didn't get a huge amount of money from my mother. Like, I always felt one of the worst things about growing up. I've had a few people say this too, a few live stream regulars, but it's one of the most upsetting things is when you realize that your parents don't have an infinite amount of money, or like in my case, I realized my mother had like regular financial difficulties, and I could never ask for money without feeling like I was like, you know, there was no money to ask for. It was all made up and fabricated, and that's like the worst thing as a child or whatever. But like even when I was never asking for money for things, like I had food bought for me, I had my necessities paid for. You know, like it's not free. Money doesn't even though people like it might seem like easy to be like, yeah, your parents have to do that for you. It's like, well, they don't. A lot of them do not. Yeah, I feel like one of the even like your most fundamental relationship, like with very few exceptions, every relationship has like a little bit of money involved. And if you just want to like skip through that and be like, yeah, that's a thing. What are your thoughts on gay people? Says Luke Balls. Who are you that you have thoughts on gay people? Like, is this the 1960s? Like, you know, I'm not really concerned about their bedroom choices. Like, not in the slightest. And I think anyone shouldn't be. It's the same problem, right? Like, people looked at that and they go, ugh, I wouldn't. Like, I really think that is because, you know, the majority of people are straight and they look at gay people and they're like, oh, I don't want to do that. And when I look at other people, I feel like, you know, I'm like imagining it. And it's like that you can't persecute a whole group of people because you don't like imagining their thing. And we socially persecute those looking for a sugar relationship because we don't like to imagine ourselves selling our relationship, you know, like selling our, you know, our love effectively just for money. But yeah, one of the things maybe we should be better at realizing is like not everyone wants to live the same life we do. Like, do you think people who go to school to become like scientists or like people who work at what's a nice job? People who work as golf instructors. I have a friend in America who's a golf instructor. Do you think people are like this are like, yeah, golf instructing's the only one good job. Everyone else must hate their job and must wish they wanted to be me. No, you understand that you enjoy golf instructing, and other people enjoy, you know, jobs. I'm really bad at naming jobs on the fly. Other people enjoy driving trucks because it means they get freedom and they get to see the road. Some people enjoy being, you know, pilots because they love planes and flying them and stuff. Some people enjoy being, you know, like train drivers because they just love trains. They love helping people out, getting them on their day. Some people love to be assistants, etc., etc., etc. Anyway, so if one of the things we need to like get away from, because we realize it for so many things, but with love we don't seem to. And I think it's one of the consequences of like we only fairly recently. This sounds so dumb, but like if you were any amount of not like if I don't know how common it was amongst the poor, but especially if you were in the nobility. You did not marry for love. The idea of a relationship being for love is like an insane thing. If you think about, you know, India, where arranged marriages are somewhat common, it seems, you know, some people think of that as barbaric, like, oh, they're married off to. But having a marriage to ally two families together, because that's what a marriage is, joining two families together. When you think about it, right? Like your family becomes their family, even if it's in the most unlinked ways. You're not marrying a person you're kind of marrying a family. Because you're joining the two things together. The bloodlines are linked together because when you have children, it's from both bloodlines. That's how bloodlines work. That's what every relationship humans do is. The point I'm trying to say is that we used to have to marry for like strategic reasons. It's really, really recently that like having the privilege of marrying someone who you love is a very bizarre, not a thing that we do for most of history. The concept of love is, you know, like, maybe you could debate how old that is. But, like, we get to feel love and marry people based on it and all this sort of stuff. But that's not how things have been for the majority of time. And I think one of the side consequences is now that we like to imagine ourselves marrying someone we'll love, it's like, therefore I get to judge everyone else and kind of compare their relationships. But if you assume there is objective value in people, because, you know, I think humans are one of the greatest points that prove there is no great objective value. It's all relative between people. The one big point that you realize from that is that no one has the best wife or the best husband in the world. If you're really into money, Jeff Bezos is the best husband in the world, right? Because if you divorce him, you get 60 billion, like Mackenzie Bezos got. If you're really into athletic men, who's the strong, or like, you know, strong men? Someone won the strongest man in the world contest. But, you know, maybe the second place guy. I've seen one of the, like, top 10 strongest men. He makes YouTube videos. He's a weird person to listen to. He buys so much food. Like, when you have a body that is 5 times the size of mine, you need to eat 5 times the food. It's insane the maintenance you have to do just to, like, be that way. But, what is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Why can't people mind their own businesses and let other people mind their lives? I think it is this, like... Wait, when you put it that way, right? Actually, there's a slogan, right? When you put it that way, like, because I believe in let people do what they want, I'm saying, yeah, let people do what they want. Mind your own business. Don't be concerned what other people do. But if you were against the things I'm saying, if you were
What's your opinion on Striders? D? Also, does this count as
D?
Toy Cat Tax?
Hey, that is officially Toy Cat Tax. There is no way around that. I got a frozen fruit thing stuck in my throat. Ugh. I would love to be a teacher, but unfortunately as a single person in Colorado, it would most definitely not pay the bills. See, that's sad. I think you should be a teacher. No, actually, wait, I'm not going to give you bad advice. If you're really into your spouse, you have the best spouse in the world. Yeah, there are millions of people who think they have the best girlfriend, the best spouse. Let's just say, you know, spouse. There you go. You have the word. Why do I have to change that? There are millions of people who think they have the best girlfriend, the best boyfriend in the world, and they're all wrong, but they're not. They're because they think they have what they have. That's the point in relative value, right? If you said that no, someone has the best boyfriend in the world, and someone has the best girlfriend in the world, and we must equally, you know, like if you tried to do that, you'd realize, oh no, you've got to allocate things based on wants, you know, like, because we all need someone. There are actually some, it's like an incel corner of the internet fringe belief that we need to allocate, like, you know, women to men. It's the most ridiculous, like, set of beliefs. Read into it sometime. It's like, it's not, and even to them, like, they don't say it that way. They say it in a much more reasonable way. They're like, oh yeah, I think it's like 60% of men never reproduce. And in a world where one of the most primary needs we have is lust, why can we fulfill all of our other needs, but we can't fulfill love or whatever? Hey, IBX, I've never been able to catch one of your live streams. We did it. I've been able to catch up on any of your live streams. Hey, Toycat, I've never been able to catch up on any streams of yours. So smiley face. That was real hard. Also, I love Striders. They're so cute. People's 8. Oh, they're so cute. They are so cute. I think they're adorable. They're the cutest mob. We all need someone. Look at me out here surviving all odds. You'll find someone. Yeah, I mean, like, someone will find you one day. That's what will happen. Anyway, but no, like, so, like, the slogan thing. So I just spoke about something I really strongly believe in. Like, if someone's doing something that doesn't negatively impact you, don't let it negatively impact you. Don't try and persecute them based on that, right? That's my opinion. And, like, rather than... Most people be like, that's the only way there is to see this. But even, like, again, it's hard for me to even properly argue the other side of it. But, you know, let's try right now. Let's give it our best shot. Because, oh, this is the entrance to the... Oh, okay, we're going to have to never this up. We'll make it like a little walkway, maybe. Like a little staircase that goes inwards from here. Yeah, that's the best way to do this. But, So, like, someone who disagrees with me might say, no, Toy Cat, the way it really is, the way it actually is like, I'm not concerned for things that don't concern me, because, like, the survival of my town, the survival of my, you know, like, my little group, my tribe, I'm trying my best here, like, they think that their village can only survive if people are reproducing, and therefore they're like, oh, well, therefore we can't have gay people, because, you know, then we won't repopulate. Or, like, maybe they'd argue, you know, the reason they care about people doing things behind closed doors is because, like, if we're not some amount the same, because in a society you need people to have something in common, or you don't have a society. Like, if people don't care for the random strangers on the street, if you don't feel like you have something in common with them, you are more likely to, you know, like, you're less likely to get along with them. You're more likely to steal from them, or whatever set of things it is, right? What's your opinion on feminism in 2020? That's a hard pass from me, Mr. Pronova. That's a hard pass from me. There are some parts in the world, right, that really need, like, there's a lot of very concerning parts of the world with regards to that. So, Kat, can you please live stream a Bed Wars match? Why would you like that, Mr. Groucho match? No, I'm really terrified. Like, I played against some people yesterday, and, like, they were nice enough and weren't just trying to... But, like, I play against people who are genuinely like, I need to prove that I'm better than you all the time. It happens so much. And it's like, it's fine. We don't need to prove that or not. Like, you can... Please have that belief, but don't ruin the live stream, because more people like it when you win, when you lose. But if someone's, like, watching you, they can always win, you know, like, especially if they're, like, you know, they're honing their skills specifically to do it. It's like, well, you ruined the live stream and you felt good about yourself. That's nice. I try to avoid situations like that. I kind of like multiplayer because there's always, like, some element of that. So you have to add a stream delay to avoid it, and it's like, I like talking with chat so much. I think this is a really fun part of the live stream. Like when Luda Player says, you deserve the monies. Also, will you do vids with fans? If so, okay. What do I say if no? What's your response if the answer is I don't make videos with fans? I'm not sure how to proceed here, friend. You have to guide me through this one. Should we put soul sand here, or should we leave this how it is? Wait, let's leave a giant gap. Like, let's connect this up to there, and then let's connect that up to there. There we go. And then we'll have like a giant hole in the center here. Why aren't using soul speed? People are asking, and it would help, wouldn't it? It probably would help. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed that answer. Oh, we got more wither skeletons. I don't know why they keep respawning, but if we can kill two birds with the same stone, then who am I to say no? Okay, we're just gonna real quickly sneak in here. Oh, is that a wither skull? Hey, we got a wither skull. We did it. We did it. Is number 15. Perfect. Excited. Stop recording. And now we got a little recording for that I have to remember about. And we got our 15th with a skull, so now I can make a mega beacon, I think. So, say, I want Minecraft, because, okay, we got a really good thing. I'm a self-aware piece of bread, thank you. So you're reading chat, it's like one of my...
This morning, I spent $3,000 at the hospital, but I'll be damned if I forget to pay my entertainment bill.
Man, hospitals in America and the costs involved can, like, blow my mind sometimes. Like, I get that you do that once, it's not like a regular expense, but it's like, oh. One of the things that always feels... One of the things that, like, because I live in the UK, where we have healthcare included, one of the things that feels like not my fault is, like, most injuries, right? If something happens and it's not your fault, it's like, oh, why am I on the hook for that? And obviously, like, fault is a very hard thing to blame. But, like, I don't know what you just went through, man, but, like, I am proud of you for doing it, I guess. Best thing in the UK is the NHS. Yeah, one of the things that has the most insane approval ratings in the UK is the NHS. Like, we love our healthcare service, but even then, I don't think we like love the concept. We don't love the thing itself. We love the concept of, like, what if healthcare but free? Only because, like, American media is very common here, and we see on the internet, American people are like, oh yeah, went bankrupt because I got cancer. Or like, I have the choice between go bring my family bankrupt to have a small chance of surviving cancer, or you know, go on my own terms and that way they have some money and we're gone. And it's like, oh, that sounds like a painful. You know, cancer's already bad, even if you had free healthcare, right? No one's like, oh yeah, got me some cancer. What a good day. Let's not talk about healthcare. People always get very, very cagey. Like it's a very circle jerky thing. Like, isn't the real healthcare answer like, what if we made people not die? Because I guess the downside of our system is that like you're on the hook for other people's potentially bad decisions. Like, and therefore, like when people are like, say, you know, eating too much in the UK, that's like all of our concern. Like when we have a high obesity rate, like right now we're going for a lot of steps to decrease the obesity rate, and a lot of people don't like that. They're like, why is the government controlling what I can and cannot eat? And it's like, well, because when you have some form of issue which statistically you're more likely to have, that is, you know, it's the government who pays. It's not actually the government who pays, it's you who pays the government. The government isn't some magical entity that pulls its money out of nowhere, which is one of the most impressive, like, crazy things that some people believe. Not believe, but like, it's not the first thing you think about when you think, oh yeah, government should spend money on thing. You don't think like, oh yeah, we should all collectively spend money. You're like, oh yeah, that big giant entity that is worth $1 trillion can buy this. It's like when you got a rich friend and you just assume their money is limitless. Do they have to come up with funeral expenses over there like families do here? Oh yeah, that's a thing that blows my mind. Like, I'm so glad I don't have a dead relative. Partly because like, man, dead relative, that sounds like a bummer. But also like, it costs so much for someone to die. Like, can you just like leave the body? Like I would genuinely like be okay if you just left my body rotting in my house. Like, please do not send a funeral. Like, I don't want to have like you know how like some people like get driven around town and like all of that's crazy. All of that's like, oh, what is this? I lived next to a funeral place forever, a long time ago, and the amount of like, you know, like the fact that it was like, oh, there's certain things that businesses do that show you how much money they're making, basically, right? And like when they're replacing their fleet of, you know, high-end, expensive vehicles every year, you're like, okay, that's a sign of how much money's rolling through here. But like dying is so expensive. Why would you? You know, like that's not. Nope. I think the price of dying genuinely outweighs every other thing about it to me. Like, I would like to not die just to not have to burden people that thinking about the funeral. Like, man, now you go live your lives, man. You're like, you go do that. Let's please. Especially like, if someone feels like, one of the worst things to me is that like, if someone you know dies, you're kind of like obligated to like help on the funeral or whatever else. I don't know. I'm just an internet cat here. I don't know how any of this really works. But personally, okay, I'm gonna put some bones down. I'm gonna switch out to that now. Because I want to make this into a big circle, but I've been looking at this for a while. I have no idea how to even begin on this. Like, oh, how do we even? Your contrarian nature rebels against your own promise. The streams start later and later every day. Hope you had a good day today. So first of all, I want to mention today's stream was only 3 minutes late, that's more on time than yesterday. Because any less than 4 minutes late and it's on time, those are the rules. I don't make them. I actually do make them, but that's just how that one bees. We're gonna put a bone here to make it look less lonely. Just a big that. Wait, that. There we go. That's a bone, right? It looks like a Tetris piece. I just had a great idea. It's heartbreakingly expensive, but it does a lot to one of them in a special way. No, that's my thing, right? I have the this is just my worldview, I guess. When I am dead, I would like my memory to live on from a live me. I want you to gather up in a room, watch a video of me eating a McDonald's Big Mac, and I want you to be like, that's what he was like alive. I want me going from alive to dead to just out of existence. I would like you to not even know I would like you to not even be sure I was dead. Actually, wait, I think you get a lot of benefits from dying, but I want to be like, oh yeah, Toy Cat died in a, you know, he was going, he was involved in an electric scooter accident, because he was going too darn fast, and I want everyone to be specifically clear I'm dead. What happened after he died? I don't know. Like, gone. It's over. It's not a thing. So I just feel like okay, we need to find bones. I probably got some in this chest over here, right? Yep. 15. Oh, I've got bone blocks even. Oh, heck yeah. I fought ahead on this one. We had to put together a fundraiser to GoFundMe when someone had cancer. It should be like that. Yeah, I hear in America the most common type of GoFundMe is like someone's medical expenses. Same with funerals, right? Like everyone pitches in. It's like, ooh, nah. But I'm really off the belief that like anything that happens after I'm dead, I don't want publicized. What happens to my body? I don't know. Where am I buried? I don't know. Actually, maybe I want a tombstone of me to be somewhere, but not my body. I want people to just believe my body's there, because that way you can like, you know, it like the place where Karl Marx is buried like regularly gets graffitied, and it's like, again, disagree with his political philosophy, sure, but like, don't dishonor the guy. I want my body. I'm gonna just make all the Tetris pieces. Do 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 do. Do 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 There's the reverse of this one. It bends like the other way. Oh god. You can't see me, Ghast. The Ghast can't see you, it can't shoot at you. Just like a gun. But yeah, like I think again, I've never been to a funeral. All of that sounds like nope. Again, I know everyone's different. I want to clarify, like, I am talking on behalf of only myself, but I'm of the like real opinion of like, oh yeah, I don't want you to think anything happened. I want you to just think I think about the moments where I was alive, remember them somewhere. But all the other, like, an expensive gravestone, you know, I'd rather have a statue somewhere that's not in a cemetery. I've been to cemeteries. They're like, they're bummers of a place. I want people to, like, freshly discover me after I'm dead. That'd be cool. That'd be a fun little thing. But, like, I want them to discover me and have, like, some dumb story. I want there to be memes on my gravestone. Please take a hot, steamy... Okay, thank you, NASCAR fan. Thank you, Shana O. I googled it, and in fact, it's cheaper to launch crashes into space than it is to have a funeral. See, that would be cool. They could be revived by some mighty... Actually, that sounds terrifying. I don't want to be revived by aliens. Aliens don't know what I want. Aliens don't know what I need. Aliens don't know me, you know. They don't get who I am. Anyway, so this has been an hour and 10 minutes or so, which means it's basically the same length as a Let's Play, except entirely worse and different in every way. But I figured I'd make this as like a little kind of intro into how live streams be. Actually, how long would it be? Yeah, I think it's been like an hour and something. I have made. Actually, wait, is this? I'm gonna quickly do my little confirmation. This is my little soul sand desert this exists in. We got little Tetris pieces back there, which I think an essential part of the puzzle. So this is what it looks like now. You know, I think we need a big basalt pillar or something. I think we do, right? And also this ground here, I think we gotta cover this. Like, if this is a Let's Play, what's the end screen joke? Wait, let's do it. Let's do an impressive. I can make this happen. I've got some text. Okay, this text up here. What's it say right now? Okay, so thank you very much for watching today's live stream. If you did all enjoy it, then like the live video. This is a video. I pretended for it to be a live stream, but it's not really one. I'm breaking it to you right now. Chantel X Lee is fake. So is Divan and Cat Gale and Rita Wills. I ate lunch in the cemetery with my family. I don't know anyone who has died. Yeah, cemeteries are cool to just go into and check it out. Okay, so oh lord, what did I just do? I hope you all enjoyed today's thingamajiggy. Like, favorite, subscribe, whatever people say. I won't be live streaming tomorrow, but on Saturday maybe, or maybe I'll be. Well, at some point soon, I'm gonna be streaming Terraria. A lot of people want me. People have stopped asking me to play Terraria now, so I want to live stream it now that people have stopped asking. And I also want to say thank you for watching, because I'll see you all next time. Goodbye. Wait, how does Pigstep go? Wait, what is my outro right now? I think it's. I know it's. We switched to Minecraft. We'll do my old outro anyway. There we go. This is my outro. Wait, real quick. Someone mentioned I didn't make a Z-shaped Tetris piece. And I read that and I was like, Z-shaped? There's no Z-shaped Tetris piece. I just realized. I'm an idiot. So I'm just gonna pretend that this was here the whole time. Just real quick, just gonna make one of those all the way over here, I guess. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Oh wait, no, that's not right. We'll make it like there we go. Perfect. Okay, thank you for watching. See you all next time. For Monday. Oh, that looks. I have to. You know, it's okay. This is the real ending now.